Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of December 15th. This week, you have this timing card. It says, time is important, not too late, divine timing, and trust in timing. You have this past life. It says past life events, people from the past life connections, history, memories, familiarity, and old soul. So you still have time. Again, for you, definitely Neptune and Pisces. Neptune will be moving into your sign at the end of January or close to it, the January 26th. And, again, you still have time to work on an impossible dream, which is what I've been begging everyone to do at the end of Neptune and Pisces here. Because, again, the beautiful thing is we don't have to be perfect. We just have to take that first step. And if we do that, and if we just get something started before Neptune moves into Aries, then, that is basically good enough. And so, again, I would like, if you don't have an impossible dream right now, I would pick one or I would come up with something and I would take the smallest step possible to start it before January 26th. And definitely you, because you're an Aries and Neptune is moving into your sign, but also Saturn is moving into your sign as well. So, that's what I'll say there. You start here in your current general energies with the Five of Cups, the Eight of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. You have this past life card, and it's talking about the past. And the Four of Cups can represent disappointments from the past. He has these three cups in front of him, and this one cup right here. And he's not accepting that one cup into his life because he has been disappointed many times in the past. And so the whole point of the Four Cups is that he needs to realize that he has learned from these three cups. He just needs to apply what he learned to this one cup, and it will work. So, again, a lot of you, and I'm pretty sure I've said this to you before, Aries, that you could be working on something or wanting to work on something that you have worked on in the past or have tried before. And I don't necessarily think you're like trying again, although, I kind of feel it's saying like continue trying or don't give up on whatever it is that you've been working on because, I think you've gained a lot of knowledge is what the Four of Cups says. You just need to use that knowledge, what you have learned, to make something successful. You have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success or charging forward, so I like to see that. You have the Ace of Swords, you have the Empress, you have the Ace of Pentacles. You have amazing cards of victory. And again, one thing that kind of surprised me in December, or I should say in the 2026 readings that I just did, was like everybody had these victory cards coming up in the reading. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with next year. I just never really thought that it would be a victory year, so to speak. I mean, I think we can always create victories, of course, but I don't know. I don't know what I thought. And but again, clearly there is an opportunity for people to have a lot of victories next year, and I would take advantage of that. Next year is the year of the horse in Chinese astrology. And I do think it'll be a faster year, kind of, but I think we're going to all be making more moves, or we're going to feel that motivation to make more moves. Again, there's a big difference between feeling motivated and actually doing something about it, right? So I would don't just feel motivated, use it, use the energy to create something, to have those victories, to win. With the Eight of Wands, I always say, like, the most important thing we can do with the Eight of Wands is create a slip and slide in life. We need to make things easier. We need to make things smoother. We need, anywhere where we're experiencing friction in life, where things are slowing down, we need to smooth those things out or make them better in whatever way we can, even if it's just a tiny little bit, right? And so that's what I would be focusing on with the Eight of Wands. You have the Ace of Swords, which is a victory. I'm a big fan of people having victories before the new year, because I think if we could all just have like some little wins before we start the new year, it's like we're starting off on the right foot. And like, I would do it. I would make sure, like, is there an easy win that you could have right now? And it could be something very, very small. It doesn't have to be like a win. It could be something simple, like, fixing your health, or, starting to go for a walk every day or something. Like, whatever a small win would be for you, Aries. And I literally said the same thing to Pisces, and you have the Pisces card at the end here, which is interesting. But you are born very close to Pisces, and I would say that it seems just as important for you, Aries, that you have these small wins before we start the year, so that you can have a year of winning. And I would make that happen. With the Four of Cups, you have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups can be a wish or wish fulfillment or fulfillment coming in for you. Pretty good because we have the Empress as well going this direction. Nine of Cups, we have to be in the thing that we want to be before we can be it. So you have to match the energy of like what you want in life or who you want to be before you can have the thing that you're trying to manifest. So I would definitely be in the energy of what you want to be. Here you go. With the Eight of Wands, you have the King of Swords. Again, now I said knowledge and wisdom on that Four of Cups, and that's what was popping into my head. King of Swords is a card of knowledge and wisdom. Eight of Wands, card of speed, according to Chris's crappy tarot here, right? And so it is a card of quick conclusions or things happening quickly. And so I think that, basically the reading, the first part, this first row, is saying you need to use everything that you've learned over the past many years. You have that past life card. I don't necessarily think it's talking about a past life. I think it could be. It's like I definitely feel that there are things we have learned in past lives that we should be using, of course. Do we know it consciously? Maybe not. But, I like to think about, people always ask me, like, how do I know? And I like to think about the things that you're naturally good at. It's like if you're just born being good at something, if you're born with a natural skill, and I think we all are, chances are those skills are past life skills. Like there might be things that you notice, things that you pay attention to. Like I said, people may have told you that you're good at something that you really didn't think you were good at, but you are naturally. Those are past life skills. That's what I would be thinking about in this reading. Like, has anyone told you that you're good at something that you didn't think you were good at? Has anyone told you that you're a natural, anything along those lines? Do you have an interest that is unusual? Whatever it is, it's something I would think about. Does something come easily to you? And the thing is, when something comes easily to us, I think we usually don't think we're good at it because it comes easily to us, right? And so those are the things you need to think about. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Six of Swords. Moving on to Calmer Shores, definitely improvements in this reading. This whole entire reading kind of looks like just an improvement to me. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this co-create card and this buy the book card. It is an amazing time for co-creation right now, especially for you because you've learned a lot of lessons with people, probably since about 2012 or so. Neptune went direct yesterday. I'm recording this video on the 11th. Neptune went direct on the 10th of December. And the thing about that is that it went direct at like 29 degrees, the last critical degree of the sign, Pisces. And for you, I think that a lot of your issues since like 2012, when Neptune went into Pisces, has been maybe around people. Even though it's your 12th house, there's something social about it for you, Aries. And I feel that a lot of you maybe have learned a lot of lessons with people. And it's like when a planet goes retrograde for the last time in a sign, especially a major planet like Neptune, and it goes direct at the critical degree, 29 degrees, and starts moving forward, it's like you're really closing out those lessons that you've learned. And so now it's time to like implement what you learned, which is kind of what we said on the Four of Cups. You have the Knight of Swords, the Empress, and the Four of Pentacles. Knight of Swords is rushing forward. Again, I see a lot of speed here for you, Aries, which definitely makes sense because, especially with Saturn in your sign, I always say that Saturn is not in your sign right now. Yes, I understand that. It's already been in your sign. It will move back into your sign February 13th or whatever it is. That is very close, right? Relatively speaking. So I feel for a lot of you that, Saturn and Aries is very loud, but I think for you, because it's in your sign, it could also kind of, you have, sorry, I'm babbling here, but you have this time card. It's like, there's something about time, and Saturn is time. So, and I think things could be moving very quickly for you. I don't necessarily feel good or bad about this Knight of Swords. I always say, like, no rushing. It's kind of like a weird energy sometimes with the Knight of Swords because it's like we shouldn't wait forever, but we also shouldn't rush. So we need to find that, like, middle place where it's like we see an opportunity, Ace of Pentacles here. We are willing to take action on it. We're willing to move towards it, but we also shouldn't maybe put 110% into it right away and burn ourselves out, right? There's a big difference between those two things. So I feel it's a good time to experiment with things. It's a good time where if you get an opportunity, you just try it a little bit, see how it goes, and then make the investment, right? And so that's what I would think about there. You have the Empress. The Empress can be abundance or a lot of abundance coming in for you, which I think this is talking about abundance. you have years of the opportunity to build abundance. I mean, even, Saturn in like 2.5 years will move into your second house. And, I think Saturn gets a bad rap in astrology. A lot of people would say like Saturn in the second, oh, this is going to be bad. I'm going to lose my money and all this other stuff. But it's like, actually, no. If you're responsible with your money, if you do wise things with your money, if you take your time with your money, you'll make more money than ever. So it's like you have to, think about that. And yeah, I know that Saturn won't be in your second for like 2.5 years or so, but I would start now. Like, you don't have to wait for these changes to happen. Next, you have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles can be like stability and, being stable, making things stable. It's a card of financial security as well. Again, Four of Pentacles, I kind of go back and forth on as well. It's not really a bad card, but, he is kind of limiting himself by staying stuck in this situation. So I would make sure that you're not staying stuck in a limiting financial situation with the Four of Pentacles. And I would make sure that you are opening up to, all financial possibilities that you possibly can with this card. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords can represent separation or sadness, but really it's a great time for healing at the end of this year. Again, we don't really see anyone in this reading necessarily, and, so whenever that happens, I think that the Three of Swords is about practicing forgiveness. Those swords are in your own heart, and the trick with the Three of Swords is we have to forgive the past, and we don't have to forgive anyone directly, we just have to forgive them in our heart, and then we can move forward, and that's exactly what I would do with the Three of Swords. With the Empress, you have the Tower. There could be some sort of financial surprise for you this week. It could actually be good, really. I think, again, the Tower gets a bad rap. The Tower is necessary. The whole point of the Tower is that we've been ignoring a certain reality in our lives, and the Tower is bringing us back to reality. But, this kind of looks to me like an opportunity that is bringing you down to reality or bringing you back to reality financially. I also just feel like I don't feel much. I feel like it's saying that some of you could be rebuilding your financial foundation. And, if you are doing that, that would be a good thing. The other thing I will say is that the Empress actually is tied to the Tower. We have this waterfall behind her. This is the water that flows down from the Emperor to her. But the waterfall, we have this bottom of the waterfall here. And the bottom of the waterfall is like chaos. If you were at the bottom of the waterfall, you would be getting tossed around all over the place. So it would be like a Tower moment. The point of the Empress is that she's focusing on what she can do. She's not worried about the chaos that's going on around her. We're in a time of chaos. In April, Uranus will move back into Gemini. And so even though it's not there yet, it already has been. And, it's retrograding in Taurus right now. And so, it'll be there soon enough. So I think that the Empress is talking about protecting your environment. That's what she's doing. Like, she understands that there will always be chaos and things going on around her, but she focuses on what she can control, which I think is what this is saying. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, it's like time to break away from something. I just get breaking away energy with that Four of Pentacles. It's like there's something that you've outgrown, or with the Ace of Pentacles as well. Ace of Pentacles can be new growth, and that's what's popping into my head. We'll talk about it in a second. And so I think that it might be encouraging you to, separate away from something that isn't growing in your life any longer. And that could basically be anything. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have the Stars card. It says, a long journey brings rewards, which is nice. You have the Seduction card. It says, passion and romance await. Again, we don't really see any love cards here, but, still, it's always possible. So there could be a strong connection coming in for those of you that want one. Or if you're hoping for a new connection, this could be a new person coming in the future or something, which that would be nice. But again, I do think that you're very close to some sort of reward. You have the Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles could be like a big offer or opportunity for new growth coming in for you. Again, the Ace of Pentacles is an opportunity that we have to nurture into existence. So we have to do something to get that Ace of Pentacles to grow. And so, This could be you getting an opportunity to do something in work or business, and the more you nurture it. Empress, right? The Empress is the ultimate nurturer, caretaker. She really nurtures the things that she cares about. And so the more you do that, the better with the Ace of Pentacles. But I definitely feel that there could be a new opportunity. I kind of feel, I've said this to you before, it just popped into my head, Aries, that, this is an opportunity that you have created for yourself. It's like, normally, this is the hand of God reaching out, giving you the opportunity. So it could represent an opportunity from another person or from something else in your life. But, I kind of feel like this is an opportunity that's coming from you. So there you go. You have the Four Swords. Four Swords can represent resting, relaxing, recovering, and healing. Definitely at the end of Neptune and Pisces here. The more healing, resting, relaxing, and self-care that you can practice, the better with this energy. So I would do whatever you can to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and healing. You have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, like work hard, play hard. Yes, again, I think you're entering into a very busy time, especially not just right now, but for the next year, from now until the end of 2026 and maybe even beyond, you are going to be working harder than you have in a while. And, this is going to be good for you because I feel like you're building something, but, Two of Pentacles wants us to make sure that we're balancing the energy, that we're practicing equal give and take, that we are, not giving too much, that we're, also healing and resting and relaxing and all that other good stuff. So I would make sure to do that with the Two of Pentacles. And yeah, I think that's it. Also, Aries, I forgot to say, make sure to like and leave a comment. Really helps me out. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Pentacles, which is good. Queen of Pentacles is multiplication. Empress also multiplies very quickly. So, it looks to me like there's like a very abundant opportunity coming in for you here, Aries, at this time. And again, I think it's an opportunity that you've probably created for yourself for most of you. So I would be thinking about the opportunities that you are creating for yourself because, they could be very abundant. With the Four Swords, you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands can represent going on an adventure, moving in new directions. He really follows his enthusiasm, so he just feels excited for something and he moves in that direction. He also practices non-attachment, so he's not like saying, this opportunity absolutely must go this way. He's willing and able and capable of allowing things to happen how they want to happen. He's willing to allow opportunities to happen in the way that they want to happen. And that's really what I would focus on with the Page of Wands, is making sure that you are in the energy of allowing things to happen and not like needing things to happen a certain way. And as long as you do that, you'll be fine. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, a card of conviction. It says when you know that something is for you, then it's for you. Like when you truly believe, when there is no other way than for you to accomplish something, then that's when you will accomplish it. And so the Seven of Wands is about making sure that you are in the energy of doing things that you are capable of doing. But the Seven of Wands is a great card for brainwashing yourself into success. Like, again, the more you believe in yourself, the better with this energy. And again, Empress is self-care. Part of self-care is believing in yourself. And I think that would be a great thing for you to work on. I also think, like we were talking about over here, with past people, we have the Five of Wands right next to it. I feel that you need to trust yourself in the fact that you have learned what boundaries to put up with people, how to protect yourself from people who don't have your best interest at heart and everything. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have a Scorpio card. It says the Underworld. It says awaken your inner witch to maximize your potential and connect to the universal energies. You have this Pisces card. It says boundaries. It says set and honor your boundaries to avoid being taken advantage of. Yes. So I would definitely make sure that you have boundaries at this time. And again, you've learned the lessons. There's nothing to worry about. I think you've learned how to deal with people and how to protect yourself from the wrong people and all that other stuff. So, I would just keep doing what you've learned how to do, and I think you'll be fine. You have the Queen of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Five of Wands. Queen of Swords is about seeing clearly for the first time. She only has clouds halfway up her body here, and she is seeing into the future, basically, clearly for the first time. So I feel a lot of you have, kind of perfect clarity on maybe where you're going. This might not be happening until, the beginning of the year, even though it's showing up in this reading. It is showing up at the end. The end can be a future position And I think as we move into the new year, you are going to have more clarity. But I also feel with the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Wands that you could create even more clarity if you have those victories. If you do those things that you know you should be doing, or if you start creating those small victories, feeling like a winner, it's going to build your confidence. Empress, she wants us to build our confidence, self-care, and doing that will be good. You have the Five of Cups. Five of Cups can be regrets and sadness, but it's coming up in the good stuff. So the whole point of the Five of Cups, the easy solution to the Five of Cups is to practice gratitude. We just have to be grateful for the things that we have, or the things that we've created, or the things that we want to create. And, he needs to turn around and see these two cups. Then he gets this bridge and this castle over here. So the Five of Cups is, again, all about practicing gratitude for the things that you have. And I feel if you do that, that things will go very well for you here, Aries. And, I think practicing more gratitude would be a good idea. Like I said, I feel there's an energy of needing to believe in yourself a little bit more here, Aries, because, Five of Cups can be past disappointment. And it's coming up in the good stuff, but, I just kind of get the feeling that some of you might be thinking like, oh, I'm not going to be able to accomplish this thing I'm trying to accomplish. I'm not going to be able to do this thing I'm trying to do, but you actually can. And so, again, I would believe in yourself more. You have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands can be conflict and competition. And so with the Five of Wands, we have to face the competition. Five of Wands isn't necessarily bad, but, Five of Wands can say that we are experiencing competition even in the good stuff. The trick with the Five of Wands is to study the competition. If you learn what the competition is doing, what they're not doing, then you can learn something that could make you more successful, right? So, looking at what the competition is doing, what they're not doing, and filling in the gap is kind of like the trick with the Five of Wands. So that's what I would do with that card, is study the competition. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Devil. Again, I feel pretty good about this too. I feel like you're getting some sort of answer. It's like, the Devil can be like Saturn. And, it is technically Saturn in Capricorn, but, the Devil is Saturn energy. And again, we have Saturn moving into your sign. So you could be seeing things that have kept you trapped, or, things that have kept you stuck, or things that have prevented you from moving forward. You could finally be understanding like what has done that in your life. And yeah, I feel like that is a very good thing. With the Five of Cups, you have the Temperance card. Temperance can be patience and temperance. He is trying to turn water into wine. I do feel that you need to believe in your magic a little bit more. Again, the Empress. The thing with the Empress with that waterfall in the tower is that it's like, there are things in her environment, there are things in her life that might make her think that she can't do what she's trying to do. But she does it anyway, because she knows she can create the abundance, she can create the success. And so it's like sometimes we have to, create a little energy bubble around us where it's like, yeah, maybe to the outside world, something isn't possible. But, if we kind of create a bubble around us where it is possible, then it is possible, whatever we're trying to accomplish. And, that might sound a little bit delusional, but we still have Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces is extremely delusional energy. Sometimes Neptune and Pisces rewards us for being delusional. So, I wouldn't be afraid of being delusional. With the Five of Wands, you have the Nine of Pentacles, which is great. Pre-Empress energy, also a lot of abundance coming in for you. So a lot of you could be doing things to create more abundance in your life. Clearly, it's a very abundant reading. Nine of Pentacles is the card of your environment. And so I would be doing whatever you can to create an environment of success around yourself, because it'll make you more successful, Aries. We're going to pull 5 cards from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. You have this Ostentation card. This is about being able to tell the difference between something that's good for you and bad for you, or something that's right and wrong. So I would pay attention to your intuition. You cannot make that up. I literally just pulled the Intuition card. So I'm actually going to pull you another card, because I feel like that's just connected to that Ostentation card there. You have this Lust card. I mean, again, there is a little bit of love here. You have that Seduction card. I would make, again, I would make, if you want more than just lust, then I would make sure that someone is serious. It doesn't look bad or anything like that, but there just isn't, it's not really a love reading is what I'm trying to spit out here. So, something I would pay attention to, but still could be good. You have this Harmony card. I feel like you should be creating your own peace and harmony with the Empress in your life. Again, Empress and Nine of Pentacles is your environment. It's like I said, it's almost like you could be creating a little bit of a bubble around you where it's like the outside world could be going crazy, but inside your bubble, things could be going well. It's almost like you need to create that level of protection or something. You have this drama. Yes, avoid the drama. This week, the week of the 8th, this video will be published on the 12th. So if you're watching this early, we had Mars square Saturn this week, and I definitely think that can bring out the drama. I even think that maybe a little bit the week of the 15th, the first part of the week, the energy could be moving forward a little bit, so I would avoid the drama. You have this assertion card. This is you, Sun and Aries, so it could be a good time for you to assert yourself or to be more assertive, and that is also something that you could be paying attention to. But this looks really good, Aries. I like it. So thank you for being here. Make sure to leave a comment, and definitely enjoy your week.